Pisces, this is your forecast for the year 2017 first quarter. This is a general reading for Pisces Sun, Pisces Rising, or Pisces Moon. If you have a different rising or moon sign, you might find watching those videos helpful or more informative for you. Please remember that these are general readings, and so they may not apply to everyone. If you would like a reading that is specific to you, please visit my website at thealchemistastrologer.com, provided on the link at the upper corner. If you have visited my site before, you'll need to clear your browser's cache for the schedule button to function properly. So Pisces, in the first month of the first quarter, there's something that you want to manifest in some way. Now, maybe you're having a child, or maybe you're working on a project. But this is about, growing something. And so maybe you are looking at your finances and just really considering, what your material comfort is, how prosperous you are, how much you have, or you're seeking those things. You want to grow in your sense of well-being. So this is going to be, in the beginning, a month where you are focused on your resources, your affections, your relationships, and, the connection between the two. You could be getting the results of some hard work that you have put in. There could be some kind of gain. Now, for some of you, this could be a gain maybe perhaps through marriage. You may be spending your money on beautifying your environment or yourself, or seeking status in some way. You could be connecting with other people. Maybe a talent is blossoming. Maybe you're growing your creativity. But whatever it is that you're involved with that has an impact on your finances, it doesn't matter whatever it is. If you are putting in good, solid effort, doing your best, you're going to make some kind of progress in whatever it is that is important to you and gives you a sense of happiness. This is going to be a month in January where you're able to maybe develop some new connections or improve the connections that are already in place. You're going to be able to speak in such a way where your communication is improved. You can smooth out any differences that you have with other people. There is luck running through situations for you, and opportunities appear out of nowhere, as long as you are putting in, again, that practical effort. So if during the beginning of this year you're feeling, relaxed about where you are professionally, creatively, financially, then you're in a very strong position just given your state of mind. But if you are experiencing a lack of confidence, any kind of self-doubt, you are going to leave yourself open for others to take advantage of you, to abuse your generosity, or you're going to find yourself trapped in some self-defeating situations. Now, part of that could be being apathetic, not putting forth the effort that you need to, being self-indulgent, getting carried away with something, being too excessive. For many of you, though, this is a positive development, and you have a goal, an objective that you have clearly in your mind, what you envision, where you want to be. And even if that doesn't occur in this first month of the first quarter, you are, whether you realize it or not, you're getting very close to achieving that goal. For others of you, the key is to be diplomatic. To put forth that effort again to smooth things out with other people, because that's going to make it easier for you to achieve some small advances. This is going to be a period where you can come up with little small things, some effective strategies that, although small, they do in the long run help you achieve that goal. And they're going to make a big difference for you in the future. Now, for some of you, there is something that you want to manifest, something that you want to bring to fruition. But one of the best things that could happen for you is that you take a short break. And the reason for this is it's going to give you some fresh insight, some new perspective. You're recharging your batteries. And then you have renewed confidence to move forward on some things that maybe you had put aside or that you had given up on, or things that you had moved away from. You're taking a fresh look at those things and reconsidering them. And because you took that break, those fresh eyes are going to give you that push forward. But again, not putting forth any effort at all and because you're being self-indulgent or lazy or whatever it is, make sure you're not going to either extreme. Being apathetic or being excessive, because that could in some way come back and reflect on you negatively, or your achievements, or because you're just not putting in that, you've given up, you're being apathetic, and that's going to cause some kind of setback for you. So this is a period for you to be optimistic. Things are moving forward. It looks good. There's positive development, even if it's small. Baby steps will lead you to your destination. Now, by the middle of this first quarter, there could be cause for some celebration. You're sharing with others. Maybe you were involved in a situation where your project involved information and sharing that information with others. Or maybe you are receiving that. But there's a feeling of connecting, sharing, abundance, prosperity, and feeling a sense of gathering and community. So maybe there's a celebration, you've given a birth, and maybe this is, of course, this is all impacting you financially. But if this is a project, you are seeking, for some kind of achievement. And again, there could be some recognition, some heartfelt thanks. Now, for others of you, again, there's a lifestyle change that is affecting you financially. Maybe you've given birth to a child. Maybe you're getting married, engaged, some kind of social function taking place. But this Three of Cups is also, again, pointing out self-indulgence. So you should be aware of that. This could be you participating in something excessively that is harmful to you in some way. There could be some marital difficulties that are impacting your finances, or perhaps there are issues of exploitation and being taken advantage of, or something is canceled, or whatever it is. During the middle of this first quarter, you will be exchanging feelings, emotions, and information with other people. Some of that information is going to prove very important and very pertinent to whatever it is that you hope to achieve. And you're going to have a lot of opportunities to make connections to other people. So the Empress card, again, is going to give you the ability to improve your communication, to be diplomatic, to deal with people who may be difficult, to further your goals. And you're going to have the ability to resolve differences or any misunderstandings that crop up. You're also going to be making connections to people that have valuable information to impart to you. But you should be very careful about the information that comes across your desk during this month, the middle of the quarter, because there could be some distortions. You may be told some things that are not quite true, or there may be some secrets divulged that perhaps become a game changer in some way. So you will have to be very careful about what it is you believe and disbelieve, and not allow your emotions to interfere, to override your common sense. And also, you could be investing in ways, partnerships, situations, waiting for a return when that's not going to happen. You may feel as if you are fighting for something, or that a person or situation is the answer to something that you need, or maybe you feel like they're creating the problem, they're the dilemma. And there may be some distortions in how you are viewing a situation. But by the end of the quarter, maybe you're dealing with a fire sign. It could be this person, an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius, male or female, sun, moon, or rising, is providing you some pertinent information, or there's some type of exchange with this person that's very important. Now, this could be somebody who is focused. Either this is a person or this is a trait in you or the situation. But this is a queen that focuses on business success. There's strong leadership ability and some fierce determination. So you could be very interested in the power of influence. And again, if you're involved in a project where information is being shared, that could be the focus, trying to influence other people. There's also the pursuit of your own interests, and you're very passionate about it. And there can be some issues of overmanagement or being domineering. But generally, this is about somebody who may be a business person or a protector of some sort. Maybe you're involved in something enterprising and you're trying to promote yourself. And you're using your power of attraction as a tool. And so there's obviously a love of money. This person enjoys competition. And this Queen of Wands says that you're very intent on your desires. Now, if you are dealing with someone like this, or this is some negative shadow part of yourself, this could be where you're interfering in the affairs of someone else, or that's happening to you, or perhaps trying to impose your strong value system on a situation, or vice versa. Or maybe you're being too business-like, because again, the Empress can be excessive behavior either way. So this is somebody who can be very unyielding, very domineering, and could be because, there's some bitterness involved in some way, or just extreme competitiveness. Now, maybe this is somebody who is your boss or your supervisor, or maybe, this is an entrepreneur, or maybe this is someone who is involved in various projects, or somebody who has some very well-placed social connections that could help you further your goals. But this is definitely a leader. This is somebody who is very strong, very powerful. And this could be a period where you're really trying to be noticed. You're trying to be appreciated. Maybe you're putting your talents out there and you're sharing your ideas about things. And so it's likely that this is going to be a period where those powers of attraction are very enhanced. Your projects will probably attract a lot of interest. You may have people that, want to participate, partners, clients, customers. You'll be coming in contact with a variety of people and personalities that are going to give you that sense of adventure, thrill, the spirit of competition that you're seeking. Now, for others of you, again, excess is a problem, and you're trying too hard, and you're putting yourself out there in ways that actually end up alienating the people that you need to help you achieve what you want to make happen. Now, your advice card for the financial sector is, I can follow the trails of good feeling thoughts. Most people have put anything that earns money in the category of the things that I have to do. And that is why the money often comes so hard. If you are wise enough to follow the trail of good feeling thoughts by deliberately looking for positive aspects along your way, you will come into vibrational alignment with who you really are and with the things you really want. And once you do that, the universe must deliver to you a viable means to achieve your desires. So again, this reiterates this Empress card and this sense of happiness and well-being in whatever it is that you're doing, and not being excessively concerned with money or status or power, but simply following your path and what it is that makes you feel a sense of excitement about waking up in the morning to pursue your goals. And once you do that, the universe is going to deliver to you the way to achieve that. Now, as far as romance, let me preface this by saying that it's very difficult to do a love reading generally because there's so many different types of relationships. So if this reading resonates with you, or there's some grain of truth to it, take that and do what you will. If not, just release that. Again, there are a multitude of relationships that are difficult to box into a single general reading. So for you, in the beginning of the first quarter, things are not so clear with regard to romance and your partnerships. Now, maybe you are emotionally out of sync with your partner, but it appears that there's an element of secrecy or deception taking place, whether you're dealing with someone who is deceiving you or whether you are indeed deceiving yourself. Maybe you are looking at a relationship through rose-colored glasses. So this, in the beginning of this period, you are really going to be looking closely at your relationships, and you are advised to be brutally honest with yourself and other people about where you are. There could be something in your relationship on a gut level that you feel very uncomfortable about, that is causing you a sense of anxiety. It's making you suspicious, it's making you irritable, and it could even be making you depressed. You may be getting a few pieces of bad news, in connection to your relationships. And your relationship may be having an impact on you physically. You may be prone to being more nervous or physically challenged because your emotions are overriding everything else. So you may be overly emotional with regard to your relationships in January, the beginning of the first quarter. But this is a time for you to get grounded in you. And again, even in your financial sector, the Empress card about personal well-being and happiness. So you could be putting out emotionally in ways that don't serve you. Maybe you're trying too hard, and maybe that's based on a lack of self-worth, self-love, self-confidence, where this overriding need to be needed or for people to love you or feel good about you is causing you to become more vulnerable. And maybe you feel as if people are criticizing you or not accepting you for who you are. This is a period for you to relax, but get clear and stop living in denial about where your relationship is. You may be engaged in a self-defeating cycle where you let your fear and your anger against whatever has occurred in the past prevent you from opening yourself up to love in your present relationship, or if you're single, you feel so emotionally about events that may have occurred in the past that you punish new opportunities that arrive. Whatever the case, if something has been hidden in your relationship, in a connection to another person, during this first month, in the first quarter of the new year, you're likely to find out what that is. Things that have been hidden are going to come to the surface. You could be involved in a relationship where there is a lot of projection taking place and where parties are not owning their own personal issues. Now, if you're single, this is a time for you to get clear and get a reality check. You may have been involved, again, in relationships where there was so much emphasis on you feeling prized and treasured and needed and loved that you gave of yourself in ways where the other person really didn't deserve it. You gave away too easily, whatever that was, emotionally, sexually. You allowed yourself to be deceived or easily led on, or maybe you were just completely out of control because you wanted to be with another person completely. Now, for some of you, this is about simply longing for that relationship where you feel like you're one, not just physically, but on that deep gut, soul, emotional level. If you may be looking for a partner that you feel is very nurturing, is very creative, emotional, imaginative. For some of you, again, you're looking at relationships through some type of tinted glass, and you're not seeing it for what it really is. Your head is in the clouds. For some of you, there's some addiction issues that are impacting your relationship. So this is about being very careful, being very cautious, looking at your emotions and how they may be out of balance, where you may be, maybe you're dreaming about a new relationship or a good relationship. But some of you, you're saying that you want a relationship, but you're not really putting in that effort required to make the real thing occur. It's a lot safer, it's a lot easier just to dream about that relationship. Now, by the middle of the first quarter, things are starting to get clear. Somebody's being very forceful. Now, perhaps there were some secrets revealed, and now you're going to want to know where you stand in a situation. So there are going to be issues of control that take place in your relationships, and those emotions that you were feeling are going to rise to the surface, because all of a sudden you're going to become very protective about your own sense of well-being, your security, and how you are connected to this other person. And so you're going to have some intense emotion that's going to drive you to try to get down to brass tacks to find out where you stand and to discover the truth of your relationship. So you may become more assertive and more direct and say what you really feel about the situation. You're going to be putting a lot of thought and energy into your relationship, and it's going to be more demanding of you. But you may be willing to take on those responsibilities. For some of you, your relationship has run away with you, and it's going to be hard for you to get control over it. Now, maybe you're pushing too hard. You're longing for a relationship in ways that push you to make things move more quickly than they should, than they even need to. And that's going to create more problems for you. Now, if you're involved in a relationship, there could be excessive intensity, or maybe one of you feels that you are right, and there's an issue of self-righteousness that actually is a divisive factor that drives you apart, creates some kind of wedge between you, and some emotional isolation. You may have to come to some terms with some truths in your relationship. There's some things that you will not be able to change. And so either you or your partner, you need to be careful about being excessively petty, being controlling, being demanding, because on some level, whoever's trying to control, they're going to get a reality check where they realize they have never had the kind of control that they thought they had. Now, for some of you, this is indicating that you're involved with an older person. And maybe this is somebody who is very established. If you're single, maybe you're looking for this man who is very financially successful, he's well off, and he has the ability to provide for you financially. If you're involved with someone, this can be somebody who is willing to fight for you, who wants the foundation for a lasting relationship that is mutually fulfilling. This is somebody who wants to protect you. You need to be careful, though. If you've gotten involved with somebody, this could be someone who is aggressive and too assertive. And if you are interested in this person, you need to be very careful about playing any games, because this is somebody who means it. And he's not going to want to play, he or she, this is fire energy, they're not going to want to play. They mean what they say, they're ardent in their pursuit, and so they're not to be toyed with. Now, for some of you, if you're in a relationship, there's some issues of power dynamics and whether there's a true and equitable balance of power. So either you or your partner may need to be more assertive. There could be issues like finances, health, or anything else that is putting a weight on you, your partner, or the relationship. And especially because you have this underlying energy of Five of Pentacles. So this could be, again, an issue about anger management, issues of power, unwillingness to give of yourself. And that could be for those of you who are single, who merely want to dream of a relationship, but don't really want to open up to have a true relationship and make a commitment. There could be some difficulty expressing feelings, or there may be a tendency in the relationship to always relate from the position of power. So the relationship is characterized by aggression or competitiveness. Now, some of you are attracted to a person because you feel like they have a lot of experience. They're worldly, they're financially stable, they're a leader. And so those can be wonderful traits. But again, you are being urged to examine what it is that you want in a relationship and whether indeed you are projecting traits onto another person. So again, issues of power, dealing with a strong-willed person, somebody who really doesn't want to take no for an answer. So this is somebody, if you start something, be ready to cross the finish line with this person. But by the end of the quarter, there seems to be a lull. There's a break. Now, maybe, in a far-fetched situation, maybe you're taking a vacation with this person. But this is likely to be this feeling of not wanting to upset the apple cart. And maybe that's because this person somebody is stronger than the other one, and maybe somebody backs down. But it's going to be an issue of trying to maintain peace. That may be the priority. For some of you, there were issues about work and finances. And so by now, maybe you've just petered out. Maybe you're just tired and you've been working a lot and you just need a break. Hopefully, neither of you are recovering from any kind of illness. That could have been an issue that was impacting the relationship. So this could be a time where some truths have come out. Maybe you've gotten real about some things, and maybe this is a period where now you just need to back off. You're giving each other some space. But you need to be aware that you're not running away from conflict. The key to this moon card is being vigilant and not avoiding your issues, but rather addressing them. Now, if you're single, unfortunately, you may reach out to somebody to try to make a connection. This is somebody that you're attracted to, and perhaps that doesn't pay off for you. It doesn't pan out. Or if you're involved in a relationship, there's no communication taking place. Maybe there were some anger issues that came up, and there's been a disconnect from that point forward, and things really aren't moving. Maybe you're not even talking unless you have to. And maybe there's some issues about, taking a break from sexuality and intimacy. And maybe the relationship now becomes more of a platonic situation. It could be that, your situation, your emotions are disrupted because of family issues, or because you just don't know where the relationship is headed. And maybe you're now seeking some answers to some problems. For those of you who are single, there's a lull. You're not taking advantage of the romantic opportunities that arrive because, again, it's safer to just think about the relationship rather than participate in one. For others of you, given what has happened, you're reconsidering your position. Maybe you're retreating, withdrawal, and maybe this is a welcome break for you. You may be trying to figure out what you're going to do next. Now, the overarching influence is the Nine of Cups. So this is about getting your wishes fulfilled, a sense of satisfaction. You're seeking material happiness, emotional contentment, physical gratification. And for some of you, there's a desire to be married. But for others of you, this is just purely the pursuit of pleasure without thinking about the consequences and the risk that is involved. Some of you, you're overcoming any difficulties that you've faced. And so for you, you've got the power of influence. The Empress and this Queen of Wands says so. And so you're getting your way, and you're not getting a lot of resistance when you try to put forth your agenda. You're not having to put forth a whole lot of effort. And you're getting a better deal, you're getting a better job, a better promotion, perhaps a better partner. But for others of you, there is pushing of the envelope. And it's going to be very difficult for you to uphold your ethics in the light of temptation. Now, for some of you, whatever you wanted may not live up to what your expectations were. That could be the Moon card. There was some projection. You thought this is going to make me happy. And then when you got that, you realize, wow, this is nowhere close to what I thought it was. This could also be where you are indulging yourself by overestimation, whether that's in you, your financial situation, or other people. So you have to make sure you don't allow your ego and your emotions to overwhelm your common sense. That you are wishing for whatever it is that you truly want, because you may very well get it. Now you have the Yang card. So this is an outrush of energy. So something is going on. And again, you could be getting your wish. There's a sense of fulfillment, something happening with a lot of energy and passion put forth behind it. So there is movement taking place, there's creative activity, and the power to make things happen, that power of influence, but also of taking action, gaining authority, control. And so you're pushing something forward to manifest whatever it is that you want, and bringing it down to earth and manifesting that in concrete form. So this card is telling you that this is the time for you to act. You have to be vigilant. Conditions are ripe for you to build momentum, for you to make headway, for you to make progress. and for you to proceed confidently on whatever it is you're trying to manifest or bring to fruition. There's new life waiting for you, and this card indicates that some obstacles have been overcome, that it's time for you to be assertive and make a move to shape your own destiny. If you're in a relationship or you want one, the circumstances are supporting you if you take action. It's all right for you to make the first move. It's all right for you to try to find out where you stand with a partner. Because anything connected to a relationship, there is positive movement, and you can go forth with assurance now because there's a lot of passion, and it's time for you to take the lead. With regard to finances, this says that the projects you're involved in, the partnerships, your business, you have passed the obstacle phase. You're in the make it happen phase. So this is time for you to stake your claim and get things done. So this is going to be a busy period for you, but you're going to have that passion, that energy, that vitality that will help you accomplish your goals if you're willing to claim it. Now, for some of you, this is telling you not to be excessive, not to be overly demanding, and to be mindful about being impulsive by being overconfident or being too aggressive. Think before you act. Think before you speak. Otherwise, you may find yourself in situations that are unpleasant and uncomfortable, and there are consequences to pay. So make sure that, again, you really want what you're chasing after, because you may have some regret when you actually get it. This isn't about having fear of going after what you want, but there could be some lessons for you if you're not sure about what you want. So this is a time period for temperance, diplomacy, and thoughtful consideration before you move forward on anything, financially or romantically. Now, the underlying energy is the Five of Pentacles. And so the Five of Pentacles is connected to a sense of lack, whether that is actually so, or that is just a state of mind, a poverty consciousness, being out of touch with spiritual values and overly focused on the material. For some of you, there are issues that you're having to face with regard to your finances, or maybe you're dealing with rejection in relationships. But whatever it is, this is going to be a period where it's possible that one or two things are not going to go your way, or they're not going to play out quite as smoothly as you hope. There's going to be some resistance. And it could be that your situation, materially, financially, emotionally, is all tied together in such a way that is very complex. And it's going to take some patience and courage for you to unravel that if that's what's necessary. But you need to be careful about your state of mind, your sense of well-being, whether you're happy, because that is going to trigger situations that could undermine your health and your well-being. This is a time period where you're likely to learn a valuable lesson. Now, for some of you, you're going to come out ahead on the other side. You're going to realize that maybe you didn't have to put out as much. You didn't have to spend as much. You're not behind financially, or you're further ahead in your project, or your business is moving faster than you thought it would, or your relationship is moving in ways that you didn't expect. But for others of you, you're going to be under a lot of pressure. You're going to feel like there are a lot of demands being made on you, and you're going to have very little wiggle room for risk, because one small thing could set off a chain of events that you're not prepared for. This is the time also to accept accountability for your situation, because you may be trying to blame your problems. If you have professional problems, you could be looking at your relationships. And if you have relationships, maybe you're blaming your career. So this is about, again, taking a close look and being vigilant to address issues and taking a close look and not deceiving yourself about where you really stand, and not allowing others to deceive you either. So there could be some caution that is necessary with regard to your finances, being very cautious about borrowing or loaning money. You could be involved in situations that where what you want is being delayed. You may feel a lack of faith that you're going to get satisfaction. But you are being asked to look carefully at what it is that you're trying to achieve financially, romantically, personally. All right, Pisces, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I would greatly appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, your kind comments. We're in a brand new year. Go out there and make things happen for yourself.